tell by my YouTube channel name, I also like to be called Pebbles. It's a very long story, don't make me get into it. I thought I'd start up a YouTube channel because I'm into a bit of everything, so my content will really attract different people. If you've got any ideas on anything new that you think that I should be doing, you'll just have to let me know in the comments on this video. My main sort of topics that I thought I was going to do would be sort of supernatural, true crime, sort of mental health help as well, and advice, gaming, and maybe I'll put a few time lapses of my adult colouring that I usually like to do. And there might be a bit of baking and a bit of cooking on there as well, because I do like to bake and I do like to cook. As I said, my content is going to be for everyone, so I hope that you do all enjoy my videos. Please subscribe and like my videos, and let me know in the comments if there's anything new that you want me to do. But today we'll be talking about the Old Nick in Gainsborough in the UK. It is a supernatural story, so let's get on into it. So the Old Nick was founded in 1860 for the Lindsay Division, which is also known as the Lincolnshire Division. It was also a police station, so obviously it was founded for the police, as a police station for the Lindsay Division, and it was later sold to the Gainsborough Theatre Company in 1979, after it shortly closed down in 1970. So it had a good 9 years before they brought it. There's said to be witchcraft history in the area as well, so this obviously makes it seem a bit more spooky. The Earl of Gainsborough, he had family who practiced witchcraft in the area, so there's known to be sort of witchcraft in the land, and he did later on found create a witchcraft society. He did later move on to London. He went to go live in London, but he did found a witchcraft society, and there are actually reported more than 25 deaths on record while it was a prison state, like a police station. There are also said to be many paranormal happenings that have happened in the police station, such as sights of beings, spirits, whatever you want to call them. So there's been sights of a judge, a prisoner, a policeman, and even a little girl and an old lady. There's also been unexplained happenings that have gone on, like knocks and bangs and footsteps, even whistles, and people have even heard conversations, like overheard conversations going on, and it's even said to be home of a poltergeist. So many people have been touched by someone that's not there, like touched on the shoulder. I know I have at one of my other locations that I've been ghost hunting on. There's been known to be doors slamming, even though they're actually locked from one side. And there's been chairs moved, and there's been stones that have been thrown in the courtyard, in the prisoner courtyard. When the theatre took over, they converted the old courtroom, because they had a courtroom in the police station. They converted that into a theatre and cafe, and the rest of the building remains intact. In 2017, they decided to make the rest of the building into a police museum. And yes, it is still intact, because I've since visited, and it is very much intact. You can tell that there has been prisoners there. You can tell that it was definitely a police station, and it hasn't been maintained or cleaned or anything like that since, apart from obviously the theatre parts. Since then, they do, however, have the cells still there. So they've got 2 male cells and 1 female cell. As obviously they haven't got many cells because obviously it was only a police station, it wasn't a prison. Believe it or not, the female cell was only put in 1930, even though it was founded in 1860. So they didn't even have like a women's cell before then. Like, get your head around that. Oh my god. It just shows how far women have come in society. There has also been reports of hangings from the bars in the cells. So you've got the door, and then they've got a window bar where the police officers would usually look through and talk to the prisoners. And there has been reports of people actually hanging themselves from that bar. So they will get like their bed sheet and wrap it around the bar and hang themselves. It's probably why this is the most active area in the police station. When you walk into the cells, you can actually, as I said, it's all like, it hasn't been cleaned, it's left as it was back in the day. You can see all the graffiti on the walls from when the prisoners stayed there. It is very interesting to see. It is worthwhile noting though, in one of the cells there's actually graffiti for the biker gang, the Nomad biker gang. It's unsure who it was that actually was there, and to be honest, I'm unsure whether they were actually a prisoner there, whether anyone was actually a prisoner there, because I've looked up on their website and they weren't founded until 1970 in the UK, so those dates don't really match up, if I'm being honest. So I don't know if someone's just gone in there and just graffitied their logo on this cell, which would be a bit disappointing because it is history at the end of the day. It's a historic building, so it would be a bit crappy if someone had done that. It was actually in the cells that me and my friends experienced some activity, because we do like to go on ghost hunts. We try to go on at least one a year, because they are quite expensive. And what we did is, in the 2 male cells, they're right next to each other. So we put, like, it's a little cat ball. Oh, it sounds weird. It's a little cat ball and it's motion activated. So you press the little button on it to turn it on, and then you leave it to go out, the lights to go out, and then you have to just literally just tap it, and or sort of move in front of it or anything like that. You have to physically move it for it to be able to go off, or touch it, physically touch it. You can't just like walk by it and it goes off. So we had one of them. We put it on one of the beds. It didn't have a mattress on it, it was literally just a wooden plank. So we put this ball, turned it on, put it in the left hand cell. So as we're looking at the cells, we put it in the left hand cell on that wooden bed, and then we came out of there, went into the second cell. Obviously we'd left it in there. We came out, went into the second cell and did some calling out to the spirits to see if we could get any activity. We were in there for a good 10 minutes trying to get some activity, but we weren't getting anything. So we decided to come out, and as we were coming out, that's when we saw through the crack in the door that the light was going off on the ball. This is something that we cannot explain, because as soon as we opened that door, it went off. It just stopped going off. There was no windows open, no breeze or anything like that. So it's very strange. There was no one in that room. And once it had gone off, we actually walked into the room. Didn't go off. It didn't go off at all. We were jumping around, everything like that, and it still wasn't going off. It wasn't until we actually touched the ball that it actually went off. So what we did is we then came out of the cell, closed the door just ajar, and we talked to the spirits. So we said to the spirits, come on spirits, can you do that for us again? We saw that you lit up the ball, can you do that for us again? And just like that, it was flashing like RGB lights. It was flashing, and it's not anything that I can explain. All the other ghost hunts that I've been on, they've been things that I can explain, like if you hear like a knock or a bang, it's something really that you can explain. Like it could be something knocking against the wall, or it could be pipes in the wall, you never know. But this, you just cannot explain it. There was, as I said, there was no windows open, there was no one in the room, and we actually went in there and we were jumping around, we were talking in the room, and it wasn't going off. So there must have been something that had touched it. I'm just gonna, what I'll do is I'll post a little picture of the little cat balls, just for reference, and I'll post a picture of the little graffiti that was in there as well, so you can see the little nomad graffiti. Yeah, so it was just a bit strange. Like I've never, that was really something that I could not explain. There is a lot of activity elsewhere in the police station. I mean, we experienced activity in other parts of the station as well, and so have other people as well. Primarily in the back of the police station. So just behind where the theatre is, they've got like an office slash dressing room. I think this was where the police officers used to have like a little comfort room, like where they'd sit and chill out. So yeah, that will have that it's not the most active, but there have said to be reports of activity there, because there is a little narrow staircase at the end that goes up into like an attic space, and in that attic space it used to house like living quarters for the police officers, that they would just sleep in there if they needed to do like an overnight shift or anything like that. It is now a dressing room. I've been up there myself. It's just full of outfits. But there is still said to be activity. Some people have actually felt as if they have been pushed down the stairs. So as they're stood at the top of the stairs, or as they're walking down the stairs, they felt like someone has pushed them, like from behind. And there's also been notes of footsteps upstairs as well, in the attic space. I know that when we were sat downstairs in the little office space, we did hear footsteps upstairs as well, and there was no one up there at that point. And actually I went up there with one of my mates, and we were stood in one of the rooms. So you've got like two rooms here, and then you've got a room you've got like two rooms here and one at the end as well, and then you've got like a corridor in the middle. And we were stood in one of the ones off the left of the corridor, just looking around in the room, and we actually heard footsteps in the corridor outside, and we just peered our head out and there was no one there. And what makes this even stranger is when we got back downstairs, we were sat down, trying to do like a vigil and call out to the spirits, and we were all shocked because we actually saw an apparition stood in the stairwell. So he was like stood on the 3rd step up watching us all. There was no explaining this again. There was no explaining it. Although there was a window to the left and the staircase was here, there was no mannequin, there was no person stood there, there was no sort of anything in front of the window that could have caused that sort of outline as if it was fake. So it was very freaky for us, because we'd just been up there and we had just heard footsteps. So it was, yeah, it was very strange that maybe the guy was stood there at the bottom of the stairs when we came down. I don't know. But it was one of the best locations that we have been to, I'd say. That was our 4th ghost hunt that we have been on. We haven't been on that many. But yeah, that was the 4th one that we've been on. Obviously we only go to ones in the UK, but they do get quite expensive depending on where you go. And we have been to some tunnels, and we've been to some other prisons as well. And yeah, as I said, that one, we just can't explain it. It was the most activity we've had. Obviously we have had activity at previous locations, but that one was the one we could not explain. I mean, me and my other friend, we are very much skeptics. We go into it as skeptics. Obviously I've seen apparitions when I was growing up, when I was younger, but I'm very much, I need to see proof that things exist. And it's just something that I couldn't explain it this time, and it really shocked me. But yeah, that's all I've got for this location. I hope you liked this video. It was very spooky. Sorry. I do like my spookiness. It's coming up for Halloween soon as well, so we're on topic. Yeah, so that's it from me. I hope you like my little ghost story. If you want to see any more content from me, it doesn't have to be just supernatural. As I said, you can comment below on any other stuff that you would like to see from me. Yeah, if you would like to see any more content, then just hit the like button, and please subscribe to my channel. Goodbye, my loves.